And we are off. Opening cutscene. It's, it's the opening cutscene. We've desperately wanted to get this out for a very long time, and we have. Although the tournament is still desperately holding on to it. I don't have any sound on. Oh my god! We already have a crash. I'm both delighted. Liquid Cyther should probably be reading the chat, I believe, so we can probably get like a restart happening, considering how Cyther is probably with an eye on the chat. I'll just be commentating on what's happening on Cyther's stream while we wait. Okay, the first mission is actually surprisingly... it's not difficult. Okay, Cyther is acknowledging the game crash now. But there's a lot of very small signs as to whether a runner is actually really, really knowledgeable about the game, because there's very particular points you have to be at to get certain speed boosts. And while it's actually only the difference of like 1.5 seconds, it does say a lot about one's knowledge of like where all the speed boosts exist. Okay. Okay, we're gonna be restarting this race? Wait, what? Okay, we are doing a restart. I believe we are in that frame of mind, and okay. Just have to keep an eye on everything. So are we gonna have another restart or something? Okay, yeah, we're gonna have to... Joshua's going to be doing a manual countdown for us to do a new start of the game. Cyther, go to the speed racing page. Joshua's going to do a manual countdown for you. Yeah, it is indeed a reset, and the RTMP it's gone on me? I'm not exactly sure how. Okay, we're starting again. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and go! Okay, hopefully this restart will be okay. And Cyther types in the chat, loser says what? What? Ha ha! Go! Oh dear. Okay, the RTMP now is actually being quite... Okay, now I have sound. Good news, everyone. I have sound. Okay. Hopefully we're gonna get this restart on the way. And Homer 1, here we go. Hopefully Liquid won't crash this time.
Hey, I'm endorsing a new cola, kids.
And this one isn't poisonous to anybody.
That we know of. New and improved Buzz Cola is made from only the finest sugars and waters. Plus, it has a special ingredient, too hot for the FDA. It'll give you the get up and go you need to do all the pathetic stuff you have to do. Try new improved Buzz Cola.
Okay, we have our streams synced. No, no, Capture. It's not poisonous to anybody that we know of, you know? Okay, so moving into the Cola Caper. It is the shortest mission in the game if we do not include the opening cutscene. And you're just going to see basically exactly the same line for both runners, for the most part. Maybe small little mechanical differences, but these two are just very, very skilled. Like, they know exactly what they're doing. If you ask them to, like, narrate what they're doing, they will be able to tell you exactly every single inch they cover. Incidentally, though, this game's changed a lot. Like, I've literally just been blinking and new things come into existence. Like, I blink, mini coin grinding. I blink, we do that weird forced reset in the boat. I'm just like, what's happening? What's happening to the game I play? So, there may be one or two things that I'm not quite as familiar with as the runners, and I'll do my best to explain and describe them to you and how they work, how they're benefiting the runners, and so on. Although, obviously, early game, it's immensely basic. And yeah, if anyone's wondering, if anyone's wondering why the times will become distinct, it's because we run loadless, and I believe Liquid has fewer load times than Cyther. Or the other way around, my apologies. Very nice close-up there. Cinematically brilliant, if I do say so myself. Moving on to Petty Theft Homer. This is the first mission where I would say you actually get a genuine difference between, like, your mid-tier, top-tier, and so on.
Piece of cake.
I'd say about 5 seconds, maybe, is what would be the difference between someone who is, like, a 134 runner and a 144 runner. And considering how this mission involves relatively easy-to-control cars, it is not particularly long, and so on, that is a very pronounced difference to have between top-tier and mid-tier runners. And obviously picking up the coins, everyone probably knows about that, but just to quickly say, we have certain vehicles, certain outfits that we have as prerequisites to starting missions, so those coins are required in order to buy them. Liquid very, very slightly ahead, although they're pretty much dead even as far as this mission is concerned. Cyther gets a bit of a nasty bounce there. NFL Panda, that'll kind of nullify eventually, because the reason that happens is because they're hitting the crusty glasses, or not hitting the crusty glasses, but they'll only ever respawn 3 times throughout the level. Once you destroy crusty glass 3 times, it'll never respawn again. And you can go through that area 4 times throughout the levels. So, you know, you have enough chances to continually hit these crusty glasses. Now we move on to Smithers Strat. As I've said every time I commentate, this one sorts out the great from the okay, the good from the bad, and the vapos from the non-vapos. We'll see how they do with this one. Obviously, they have to do Lenny Push, which is a technique where we carry Lenny, who is the mission start trigger, over to Barney, who has the car we require in order to start the mission. Both of them getting very, very nice Lenny Pushes. We'll see what kind of car they get. They're going to be looking for the minivan, ideally. Cyther gets the pickup truck. And basically the... Wait, one sec, are we... Has something bad happened here? I'm just seeing everyone going rip. But, the minivan is slower than the pickup truck. However, the pickup truck is weaker. We require this for a mission to destroy a car and to follow a car. So, on balance, it's a little bit better to have the minivan. Although, personally, I prefer the pickup truck, although, you know, there's probably a reason I've yet to achieve sub 140. Both of them getting a very nice hit, although Liquid on balance, I think a better hit, and will be destroying Smithers quicker due to having the minivan. Although Cyther, ooh, very nice hit for Cyther. He might just be overtaking here. And he does. We're going to be seeing how these button jumps go. They can be a little bit inconsistent. In Lime Lime, I know they can be called a Ute, but I would say that it's equally a pickup truck.
How can I... Sweet. Not like anyone likes these things.
Oh, Cyther opting to just hit the button. Liquid's going to go ahead as a result of that, because the cycle is such that is why we require the button jump.
If you're so smart.
I don't know if that's maybe a precursor for different strats that Cyther might be opting for. He might be going for something more safe but more consistent in the hope that Liquid takes riskier strats and is punished for it. We'll see if either of them go for Scorpion strats. Which, in case you're wondering, if you look at the corner of Homer's office, there is a tank of Scorpions. And moving on to the sexy footage. If you have a subscription to Cythertime, now is your time to spam that emote. And I'll be doing that myself.
Local citizens are outraged over the discovery of surveillance cameras throughout the town. We go now to City Hall, where Mayor Quimby is fielding questions from an angry mob.
These miniature cameras are an outrage. Spying on our women's dressing rooms, bathrooms, and locker rooms is unforgivable. I think I speak for all Springfielders when I say, where is the sexy footage?
In other unexplained news, strange black vans have been appearing all over town.
Marge, that black van is spying on us.
Oh, homie, you're so sexy when you're paranoid.
And both runners will be going into this mission and immediately pausing at the start. I'm not exactly sure why, but it just stops the van from going backwards before it goes forwards. And in this mission, I would say that Cyther has the advantage, and we have another person here. It's LP3 Cinema! Yes! You are quite low on my end, so you might want to speak up. Ooh, Liquid missing the vending machine there. That'll cost him 16 coins. Now, this mission is a very good example of this thing called rubber banding. Basically, in the early stages of the game wants to make it really difficult for you to fail a mission. So what it does is, if you're close to something, it'll go at a normal speed. If you're far away from something, it'll slow down. And because our ability to finish this mission is entirely reliant upon the van getting to the end of the game, the end of its path, we wanted to go quick because we're trying to do this speedy. So you'll see them occasionally go close, occasionally go far, because they're trying to manipulate the way in which the van moves so that it'll take every single area of its route optimally. Liquid opting to go ahead of the van. I'm not exactly sure he should be, and he does let it overtake, which is a good idea. We'll be going for the wasps here. One gets two, and Cyther only gets one. I think it happened simultaneously. It was very difficult to see. I think Cyther only got one because their coins are just about equal, so that should be the vending machine equaled out.
I am so smart. I am so smart.
LP3 try to speak to me whilst they're doing the main menu work.
Hello.
Yes. Can I get feedback from the chat? How does he sound?
Mr. Bird,
He's trying to turn my mic up.
it's crashing time.
I think you should. I should get feedback from the chat first. Now, the main menu warp is basically a technique we use, which is in this game there are 20 watts per level, but really there's only 3. They just warp around, teleport in a way that sort of gives the illusion of 20 wasps. And the way this game works is that once you kill 2 wasps by any method, this includes with your car or kicking it yourself, you will never be able to get another wasp with the car unless you do a level reset or a main menu work. And those level resets can be things like going from Bart 1 to Lisa, for example. So that main menu warp is to force the issue. And they'll both be going for the neighbor's house, or neighbor's garden, with 1 wasp. And yeah, Cyther's Bone Storm was very interesting. I was too busy trying to explain the main menu warp. Okay, can we get... Ooh, missing that box! That's very nasty for Cyther.
Hey, Homer. Sweet. And people say I'm slow.
Okay, just as a mic test, do an impression of Marge.
Good try. We'll have to wait for the cutscene.
Darn. Well, we've already skipped one of them.
Yeah, I know. I was kind of cheesed. I missed that one.
I would say you're still somewhat quiet. here.
Dang it.
Okay, Cyther will be attempting that wasp again, but does not manage to get it. Okay, Joshua's going to be fixing this, I think. Yeah, I think I know how he could do that, which is pretty smooth. Now both of them will be getting sub 1135 Homer 1s, which is very, very respectable. I mean, that is top tier. LP3, speak, please.
Hello.
We good? We good, chat?
I literally turned up the volume as high.
I'll get you, Bart. Just like I got Charlie.
Okay, Liquid decides to take a sports car, or a fast car at the very start, because it is the quickest traffic vehicle we can get.
You're all mine.
Both of them going for Skinner Escape. Cyther's is going smoothly, although I would say there's a small chance that Skinner could follow. Although he does not, so Escape is fine. I think Cyther might go for the Weapons Mass Delinquency mini grind here due to missing the earlier box. It'll correct his coins by 20. Getting a nice fast car. Both of them in the exact same color car. Cyther not doing what I thought he would, although, to be fair, he's the one with the 131.
So the reason they picked the sports car for this mission is because when you get in and out of an NPC car, there's no animation. And since you have to get out of it like 6 or 7 times during this mission, it also saves a lot of time in that.
7 times in total, yeah.
Some road rage, Bart Simpson style. So tired. So very tired. Yeah! That was totally awesome.
Sad day for generic.
Nice driving, man. One doesn't.
Now I see Liquid here will go on the other side of the road. It's actually a little bit risky because you're driving into oncoming traffic, so your reaction time is lesser. But because it's a sweeping left-hand bend, it's a little bit quicker for us, obviously, because there's literally less like road to drive on. Now Liquid will be going for Wiggum Escape 100 times. This does not work, and it does. Cyther opting not to go for that vending machine. He's the one with the fewer coins, and yet he's opting to pick up fewer. It's quite peculiar.
Eat my dust, dust eaters. Hey, you were supposed to eat my dust.
LP3, you're being advised to go near to your mic. Liquid picking up the freebie there on Vox and Ruby. A pretty good one, although I find if you hit the vending machine at Krusty Burger, it kind of limits your speed in such a way that I find the Wasp extremely consistent, although both of these runners will not be doing that because I just assume I'm wrong. If I'm doing something that these runners aren't, I'm the one who's wrong. Trust me. And this is probably the first genuinely difficult mission because the nerd car is literally faster than you. It's just extremely volatile in its driving technique. So there's a chance you can fail it if he doesn't crash once or twice on the way.
So they're
Liquid
probably
in
going to
a
be coming
fast
for a really hard strat on the black van. They're going to try to push the black van through the dirt jump.
It's not just difficult, but it's entirely inconsistent. The van can just decide to go the other way. You can, like, Liquid will position himself this way, but the van can decide to go around the dirt jump the other way. Although managing the technique perfectly, that saves about 7 seconds. However, it means you do not get the vending machine, although I'm sure Liquid will lose no sleep over that. Side will try to position himself, and looks like he is going to... Ooh, is that going to hit the... Ooh, I thought it was going to hit the construction site there, although getting a lot of damage. I didn't see which way the van went for Liquid. It looks like it went slow way, safe way.
Yeah, it went the slow way for Liquid.
Okay, Cyther is going fast way, which is dangerous. Also, his car is quite damaged, so he's going to have to take a hit from the van in order to guide it,
Let's hit the town.
which potentially is very dangerous for him in the later stages of the mission. That looks like it's one hit from death. Or, it's kind of hard to tell. The RTMP is slightly lower quality, so I can't quite tell the color of the smoke. Ooh, opting to pick up the wrench. Probably a wise decision, but we'll have to pick up the box during Better Than Beef, which is significantly slower. Opting here for a reset. This game has terrible physics. This game wasn't really designed, it was more just sort of thrown together in this kind of weird state. So instead of like fixing the actual game, what they did was they made it so you can reset, so that if they do mess it up, you're okay, you can just like leave. But what this does mean is that we can reset to the nearest road, and the way in which this game defines the nearest road is very peculiar at times. You can find yourself going very far away and skipping large segments of a mission if you can find the right reset. Now, like, we're going for another main menu warp. I believe 2.4 and 2.5 were the first two main menu warps that actually existed in the run.
Bart Simpson at your service.
I'm just gonna assume you already explained what main menu warps is for.
I didn't do it. Fortunate for Liquid, picking up a free car worth about 11 coins, I believe. I could be wrong.
I could have made a good septic system out of that.
I suppose the question really is, who's more insane? Radical for making this game, or all of us, who 14 years later, I believe, are still here watching it, are still here running it? I think I know what the answer is there.
Radical.
My dad will pay for all the damages.
Cyther getting a bit unfortunate here and there, although I think that issue there was mechanical on his side. Although both managing the reset, if you're wondering, you just have to turn slightly right before you hit the wall, because the way this game maps out resets is it basically creates these planes where you can be facing directly forward, and if you're facing ever so slightly to the right from that plane, from like the perpendicular line, you will reset in a certain manner. If you're facing slightly left, you'll reset in the other way.
Coming up next is Opulus Gate on this strat.
Delicious goods to the buyer. I sure hope they like stink dogs, cause I do. Please stop what you are doing. No one can sell rotten meat in
I've seen Cyther from time to time try to get the gazebo box here, which I think he might do to correct his coins, although it's a bit of a risky strat. I've seen him try it before and not actually escape Papu in the process. Like, we're going for this third main menu warp for the run. Oh my god!
Wow.
Like, sorry, a car never spawns that way. They only... Oh my... Oh, Jesus. I'm actively disgusted at the game for doing that. That is ridiculous. It only parks so that path is open. I've never seen that before. I've seen, like, cars on top of each other. I've seen everything in this game. I've yet to see that until today. Sorry, they're getting hugely unlucky here.
I need your
Yeah, the disrespect from the traffic cars. It's truly flabbergasting.
How about a hard one next time?
Now, this is a new route we have during Monkey See, Monkey Do, inspired by the NG Plus route. It means we get one fewer wasp. However, it does save quite a bit of time. On average, I kind of save about 11 seconds on my Monkey Sees as a result of doing this route. And I believe Cyther has like 18 seconds to save against his PB run, which I think is his old route. Although I'm not entirely sure, he might just have done something wrong. LP3, care to tell us about the magic that is the museum soundscape?
It's the hardest trick ever, obviously. You don't know how many times when I first played this game, I messed it up.
All right.
Honestly, if you can do that, you can do anything in this game.
Let's see, both runners going quite nicely, and the let's see, Cyther will be going for the gazebo box. He doesn't actually normally go for that in the runs I see him do, as it just, you know, I think it's just relatively slow because it requires you to slow down in order to set yourself up for it. It sometimes requires 2 forwards and backs in order to actually get it. Now, Cyther, I think he's going to overshoot. He is going to overshoot. The dirt jump is probably the greatest example of frame rates being extremely volatile in cases, because you just launch like hell off that jump, and it's very difficult to control sometimes. It's kind of like a give and take of, I want more frames because I want speed boosts, but these speed boosts can literally destroy my monkey see, monkey do, and you can end up like either having to go all the way around again, or having to go through the indignity of having to go up that bloody lift and just waiting for you to go up there in order to pick up the monkey. Meanwhile, Liquid on to sellouts.
I hope that was expensive.
You can't really lose any time on the first car.
I think you can, because you do move slightly slower when you're trying to check its movement than when you're just driving to the second car. So destroying the earlier does save some time. And the second car, I'd say, is the most important one. Because if you don't get this, you're out of position for the third. If you don't get the third, you're out of position for the fourth. The third is a little bit more forgiving because it does start in like a little tunnel, slightly far away, and takes a little bit of time to get into the center square. Whereas the fourth car, it's just in the center square immediately. Like you'll see, Liquid has a little bit of time here to react. He'll get this, although he will not want to destroy it here. He'll want to let it get towards the central plaza in order to... And now you'll see the fourth car will come out, and he's in position. If he destroyed the car in that original position where he hit it, he would not have had the time to get this very nice fourth car and 6:39 sellout, or stadium. Cyther, oh my god, what is happening for Cyther? He just crashed all of a sudden, and now he's going to... I'm not exactly sure he's going to be able to correct this, because he's going to end up behind the third car when it spawns. He might be able to do this. I think he's just going to need to redirect the... Yeah, not going good for Cyther. Everything's going wrong here. Traffic cars messing him up, and Liquid misses the cutscene skip. Cyther has a big chance to come back here. And Cyther in a very good position for the third car, or fourth car, sorry. Should get this nice and smooth. All I'm hearing is choking sound effects here. Although, again, I shouldn't say that because 6:24 is a wholly respectable time for pretty much anybody. But I would say Cyther is grimacing wherever he is playing this game because he has very, very high standards for his sellouts. Now, if Cyther gets his cutscene skip, they will pretty much be dead even. Obviously, assuming his cutscene skip doesn't take about 17 redundant pauses. 5 redundant... Okay. Most people will say the number of pauses it takes to get the pause menu you want. Although I personally always talk about the pauses where you can't physically do anything, because those are the ones that actually lose you time. You need that one pause. So most people would say 6 pause, I'd say 5 pause. Now Cyther taking the lead. I will try to switch out. I'll switch over to his audio because that's typically the advice we're given as far as whose audio to use. Now the robot arm that Cyther and Liquid are both going under right now is one of the things on a global cycle. In every single level, I think there's one thing in each level on a global cycle. There's the Gambling Wheel of Fortune in Homer 1, Homer 2 Marge, although it actually doesn't feature in Homer 2. I'm trying to remember what the one in the downtown map is, although I can't quite remember right now. But basically, there's robot arms on a global cycle, so they'll know in how they're driving what phase this arm is at, and they will want to be on the fast cycle. Well, Slan, you can't say that, although I would say that the later game has significantly more coins to correct your route than the early game. I'll just check briefly. 745 on Cyther's side as he finishes Nerd Race Queen, and we'll be hoping to get a fast car, although we'll likely just run to Malibu Stacy car. Liquid opting not to take the fish van. Not really sure about that decision. 761 plays 840. I would say that while that is a coin difference, that it's not a significant one. That I would say Cyther is... He's slightly behind, but I wouldn't say he's behind by any significant margin. Now we're going to see boat strat. It's a very strange one because it's a reset, but it's not one we can do. We basically try to simulate the idea of if you were just trying to run along the boat without a vehicle, obviously, because it would be very difficult to get a vehicle up there. So we try to find that point where the reset exists, and it's a forced reset. And it will put the car up on the boat where we can pick up 2 boxes, easy peasy. Let's see how Cyther does this. I suspect he'll be going for this now because Fishy Deals doesn't really accommodate for it. He's going to be going... I think he's got it. He has got it. Let's see how Liquid does.
That just blew my mind.
Is that... I don't know if that's it. It's not it. Typically, the visual cue is if you fall down below the point where you hit the boat by too much, you definitely haven't gotten it. Liquid might be going for clueless coins as a result in the Crustilio Studio coin room. He does not. I'd say that has pretty much equalized the coins here. So Slend, I do suggest you eat your words from earlier. Cyther's ahead and the coins are pretty much dead even. Moving on to Bonfire the Manatees. This is such an iconic mission that any mission that kind of looks like this in the strat, we just call it whatever it is, plus fire because of Bonfire. Like in 8 is Too Much, we call Baby Fire, and so on.
Donut
Let's
Fire.
see, oh, sorry, go on.
Donut Fire.
Oh yeah, Donut Fire, that's the other one. Both of them going very nicely. If anyone's running the game, a little piece of advice is if you use the e-brake boost and use the door on the left, if you line up the bonnet with the very front of those doors, that's about how far back you need to go in order to ensure you're going to trigger a drop. Now both runners will be picking up Lisa Cool here.
Easy as pie. The number, that is.
And we will be doing a pan skip here. Basically, any forced interior build, any forced vehicle, we can do a pan skip, which saves us a variety of different times. So either picking up the fish van, which is actually quite beneficial because he will be able to skirt over the rocks in Camp Krusty, which will pick him up, if I remember correctly, 56 coins, I believe. Also, get up, please. I imagine Cyther saying to himself. And Liquid not going for that, so I would say the coins are changing very much here. Gonna do a quick coin count whenever I can. So Cyther is now about 50 coins ahead, and they're dead even. Ooh, Liquid not getting that hit, and I do not think he'll be able to catch up in time in order to get this hit. Ooh, when getting buffered by the side there, not going to be getting a very nice first car. Cyther has a big chance to make up a little bit of a lead here. And oh my god, what the hell is that traffic car doing? When a traffic car gets hit, it basically goes dead. It'll stop moving. Like, basically, whoever's behind the wheel just decides, okay, I've been hit. Like, there's no point in touching the steering wheel, no point in touching the pedals. And that traffic car just said, no, I'm going to stay in control. And pushed the first car in such a way that Liquid couldn't get it. Ridiculous. Cyther getting a very nice second car as Liquid finally destroys the first by the Android dungeon, I think is what it's called. Ooh, what happened here? Oh no. Cyther manages it. Third car here, this can be quick or it can be moderately quick, and it will be quick for Cyther. Very quick indeed. as we move into Slithery Sleuthing, the super RNG, the RNG one. It is just ridiculous. There's nothing we can do about this. And technically speaking, although it's never ever happened before, 2-cycle is technically possible in this mission. Let's see how Liquid does on his third car. Managed it very nicely. What do I say? I'd say they're about the same. I was going to say that because the he pinned the third car in, that it was slightly slower than when Cyther he kind of got a more tangential hit on it, and then it sort of drove off and destroyed itself. I'd say they were about the same. Second drop here it can be a bit iffy, because if it drops on the stairs, you can just jump over it and have absolutely no ability to destroy it. Now, Cyther will be looking for a good third drop, and I assume Liquid will be too. It would be very counterproductive if he was hoping for a terrible drop. Cyther getting very... Ooh, will he get it? He manages to pick up that third drop, although it was very, very, let's just say suboptimal.
You really creamed him that time.
We'll see how Liquid gets that third drop. It can drop basically anywhere from the top of the hill that Liquid is currently going down, and Liquid, I'd say that's pretty much exactly... Will he? Oh my god, is he gonna fail? Liquid fails the mission! This is giving Cyther an absolutely huge opportunity. Like, okay, there's a very big issue with when that drop happens on the other side of the bridge. You have to react to where that is. And if you don't have the perfect line going over the bridge in order to pick it up literally as soon as you land, the big issue is that Snake is still going. Snake is not stopping for you after he's done that third drop. So as you're trying to drive away from Snake, he's still going. So that like green bar just disappears. Liquid going for a second opportunity or attack. Hopefully he'll get it. Okay, good third drop. I'm happy about that. I want to see this race fairly close, and I don't want to see people get destroyed by RNG. Although I would say, on balance, pretty much identical Slithery Sleuthings. Although the second drop I'd say was a little bit less nice for Cyther, because he had to slow down in order to ensure he didn't jump over it. Sorry, I had to. Mystic Maniac, the answer is no. The Slithery Sleuthing takes about I'm trying to think, about a minute 20 or so, and Apple Cutscene Skip takes about 2 minutes 35. Those are not compatible numbers. At 2-cycle, I would say also it's about a 2 minute 25-ish penalty if you get 2 cycles, depending on which one you get 2 cycle on. So I'd say Cyther can do some small minor errors a good few times, but I don't think he can get any major errors other than like Bar 2 cutscene skip, for example. Cyther now moving on to Old Pirate in the Sea, Hemingway reference.
Lisa Simpson? Hello, Springfield?
Oh yeah, Mystic Maniac, you're totally right. I mean, there's several points of RNG that have to be done, along with difficult missions. Cyther here, the technique he did there was he reversed back very far in order to get more forward momentum, in order to trap the limo in this position. It means you don't get beach coins, but it makes this mission so fast. Hothead, Liquid failed Slithery Sleuthing due to a very unfortunate third drop, although Cyther got an equally unfortunate third drop, and also he failed Part 1 cutscene skip. Going for the difficult lamppost jump, and we'll be leaving Lisa, I'd say about a minute and 10 seconds or so ahead. Maybe a minute 15. As both runners do a restart in order to get a more favorable position. Although inside this case was just to get closer to the car quicker. Liquid's technique, absolutely perfect, as was Cyther's on Old Pirate in the Sea. And now Cyther will be going up onto the gas station roof, hoping to get 2 kicks on a box up here, which will get him 20 coins for free, and he'll later pick this box up in Cola Wars. And do you have anything to say about like the precursor in this level about Marge's run?
Like how we used to do it?
No, didn't you say something like the way Marge holds her arms out when she sprints?
Oh yeah, people had this. People had a theory online that with her holding her arms out, it's her impersonating the zombie, which is foreshadowing the 7th level.
Cyther getting an absolutely perfect donut fire there. There's an example of where like any mission that sort of looks like bonfire, we just kind of like affix the term fire to the end of it. Moving on to a redneck roundup. Now this is a very easy and a very difficult mission. Meanwhile, Liquid going for a little bit of okay, I think I know what he's doing here. He opted to go for a mini grind to pick up 10 coins off that vending machine in order to trigger one of the wasps to come down, which he'll hope he's picking up for free. And he doesn't. Will he be getting donut fire? By the looks of things, he will. Now, redneck roundup is very easy and very difficult. It's very easy just to do. Like the Cletus truck is slower than you. There's not any major like difficult maneuvers you have to do. The thing that makes it very difficult though is the coin round. As Liquid picks up a wasp, and I can see a second one in the corner. Is he gonna get out to pick it up? He will not. I don't know what he's doing here, honestly. Although, to be fair, that's me most times when I watch anyone with a decent run. Very good close-up on Marge. As Cyther picks up the 3rd drop, we'll be in very good position to stay close to Cletus, as he is. I imagine he'll be trying to do the mansion box mini grind, or I think it's the rocket car mini grind. I think is what we call it. As Liquid moves into redneck roundup. Okay, Cyther should be in a good position here to go for the mini grind, should he so please. And he will. This is very, very dangerous, I find. For me, anyways. I tried to do it once in a run when I was ahead, and it just killed me. Although, obviously, Cyther has, probably knows a little bit more about it than I do. Picking up the 5th drop, looking quite dangerous, although the route that Cletus is currently taking is quite, it's kind of like a slalom. He's taking a lot of turns, so he can't get a lot of straight line distance away from you. And straight line distance is is kind of nervous it's going to destroy Cyther. No, he should be fine. But like if you look at the area here, there's a lot of turns, there's not a lot of long straights. And the way in which you lose follow missions is if you're straight line distance away from the vehicle you're trying to follow, or that's trying to follow you, gets too big. So the reason why it looked like he was super close and then it didn't look like he was super close to failing is because of the straight line distance along with the very turn heavy area. Marge Inmate and Cyther will be moving in to catch-up logic. You gotta go pick up the catch-up packets to feed on during the long winter. Help Cletus fetch them.
You are also flying like a turkey.
Didn't you say that was your favorite
yeah, I'm hoping
line from the game? Yeah, my person one's got to be I think I hear it in level 5 the most. It's a sad day for generic characters everywhere. Now Cyther will be going through this with a fairly standard route. You don't pick up many coins other than 1 or 2 crusty glasses, and in the back of Burns' mansion you pick up a wasp. Although I've been noticing, I've kind of not been incredibly active over the past 3 weeks. One of the changes that's happened in the run is that at the end of catch-up logic, we take the route.
And then it was just me. I'm exhausted, boys.
My sincerest apologies. But yeah, Cyther's going to be picking up Wasp here. Oh, going a little bit too close to the chessboard to pick it up there. And now we're just having a very, very long discussion about the best voice line. And Sven, you're just objectively wrong. Someone Call the Cops is not the best voice line. Now, you'll see here Side is going to turn left and go over this ramp and go down the side. I'm not exactly sure what the technique here is. I think it's to make the tire fire jump more consistent. I just don't get it. Maybe there's speed booster here or something. I might just ask Cider about it later.
Wiggum himself in this game has a better line than Someone Call the Cops. That would be, maybe we'd go faster if I took my pants off.
Yeah, I think my biggest issue with that line is, the context is, he's saying it while Lisa's in the car. It's said during City Sleuthing, and that just is that makes me very uncomfortable. Okay, Cider now picks up a traffic car in order to pick up Malibu Stacy car. There are several reasons for this. Firstly, Return of the Nerdy Dead has the longest camera pan in the game, other than, I believe, the opening camera pan to Part 1. This allows us to skip it. Also, Malibu Stacy car is significantly easier to control, doesn't have canyon aero physics, and is also just generally quicker at Wolf Stole My Pills.
Sorry, buddy, you're just too slow. Grandpa. Oh. I need speed, more speed.
Grandpa has one of the better quotes in the game too.
Yeah, I do like the now my story begins in 19 Diggity 2. It had to say Diggity because the Kaiser had stolen our 20. I didn't see if Liquid picked. Okay, I assume he did. I was thinking for a second he didn't pick up a traffic car. Now Cider will be hoping for the freebie at the back here. Does not get it. Although I'm trying to think right now of how many Bs he's actually gotten. He didn't get the one during Red. He didn't get the one during Red Deck Roundup at the start, and I don't think he got the one in Catch Up Logic either. So he should be getting that B really. Getting a mini grind here worth 20 coins, and he'll later pick this up. I assume either at the end of Wolf Stole My Pills or during From Outer Space, and he might get busted. He does get busted, and he will perhaps be in risk of failing the mission here.
Nah,
although I think he'll be able to take this under control. Although that has somewhat equalized the coins, although Cider is still in a very commanding position on coins, 410 playing 322. Liquid has one more box to pick up that Cider has not, but that's a lot. Now Cider will be picking up the rocket car box that he did a grind on earlier. That basically the grind made it so that that box turned from being worth 31 coins to being worth 51 coins. Now fingers crossed here for Cider that he does not get two-cycled. Do you want to explain what a two-cycle is, LP3?
Alright. Although it's never happened to me, I'll try my best.
Ooh, this is risky. Oh god. Okay, it is not. I did not see that second drop. That was a very late 9th drop for Cider. Anyways, go on.
So essentially what can happen is this sedan he's following can just... Is it the 8th or the 9th drop he can just miss?
It's the 9th drop that is the problem.
Okay, he can just skip over the 9th drop and have to drive all the way throughout the town again until he gets back to where the 9th drop should have dropped.
Ooh, Cider getting quite messed up here. He's gonna need to get away, and I don't think he'll get it just by doing the reset. I think he's gonna have to take the jump. Although it's kind of difficult to tell on the RTMP because the quality style. Let's see how Liquid does. But to give you a little bit more depth, in the two-cycle, there's predetermined areas over which a drop can occur geographically. And as a car that's going to drop it goes through these areas, the chances of a drop occurring in an individual position goes up incrementally. However, at the final position, the chance is not 100%. So at the end, like, let's say hypothetically it's 95% likely to drop at the final point at which it can drop. There's still a 5% chance it doesn't.
Huh? What?
For the last freaking time, tell me me about the
Quickly, LP3, do your impression.
That's the best you're getting out of me.
You disgust me. It's literally not even a bottle. It's not even a bottle, and it's not pop.
What does this have to do with the crack
You
circle?
disgust
Nothing.
me.
Where was I? Right. Now, the first time I rode in a water car. Okay. It was so long ago that I'll have to describe it in sepia tone. Well, as I recall,
Liquid. I don't know if Liquid can see. I'll try to send this in the chat.
A planet with an old-fashioned radio antenna coming off it.
A planet with an antenna? That sounds awfully familiar. I think it was at the Quickie Mart. That's it. It was on a bottle of pop. Maybe that will jog Bart's
Maybe it'll
memory.
jog Bart's memory.
Characters everywhere.
Wait, what? I'm sorry.
Now, Cider will have to do a main menu work for 2 reasons. One, it makes the ground pound wasp destruction possible, and 2, it and he's gonna go for Flanders Garden. I'm not actually sure why he's doing this. I think actually, yeah, his coins are a little bit low. Well, I personally have a relatively safe coin rate up to this point, so I'll typically have about 750 pretty safe. And I see other runners, like who are better than me, have significantly fewer coins. Now I'm always like, they're too low. So I just have lost my ability to tell how many coins other runners need.
Everyone better. Marge Simpson, after service.
Now moving on to Coal Wars. This is the second and final mission that is conducted entirely on foot. The first one, of course, being Blind Big Brother. There's a lot of coins to pick up. It's relatively simple, and I don't think there's really that much you can do wrong here, other than like the transfer between the Quickie Mart roof and the gas station roof. I'd say is the only real difficult moment. And Kamsachi, no, is not. I believe it literally cannot happen, if I recall correctly. But we do have another 2 cycle that can potentially happen coming up.
Yo, did he just get 2 boxes at a wasp with 1 ground pound?
Yeah, that's because he did the main menu work. The ground pound basically counts in the same way as the car destruction does. Let's see if Cider goes for Mr. Plowjacket. Oh, no, he doesn't. That's going to be 12 seconds added to Cider's time.
Yep.
Obviously, board is worth a minute and a half.
Next
Keeping the
go,
cookbook's 30 seconds, you know. Well, Mystic Maniac, I think the 3 cycle is as theoretically possible as Slithery Sleuthing 2 cycle is, in the sense that no one has and no one will ever see it. Now, slightly moving on to From Outer Space. This is a mission where the top runners can... And Mr. Plowjacket, fantastic. Liquid will have 12 minutes subtracted from his time.
12 minutes?
So Liquid on a 36-minute run here. This is fantastic. Okay, Cider on the first truck destruction. Pretty okay, although... Actually, I'd say that was still pretty good. I'm not going to make any mitigating statements here. I'll check their coins briefly. Cider on 4, 5, 6. Liquid... Yeah, their coins are basically the same here. If I remember correctly, Liquid has about 50 coins to pick up. Excuse me, the Sweet. Thank you very much for telling me about this credibility I supposedly had and then lost. I didn't even know I had it in the first place, to be honest. I'm frankly delighted. Now, Cider will be going for this box, and he does get it, but missing the Blazer. That will be an extra 6 seconds on his time. Second truck now, I would say it's a difficult truck to do perfectly, but a very easy truck to do well. You want to get this hit, which is exactly on the corner, quite difficult, but does basically full damage. You can hit him beyond those stairs, and then he'll just sort of like reverse, go forward into the stairs, and just like basically destroy itself, but it'll take forever. Liquid on quite high hit and run here. not getting the hit perfectly, but should be absolutely fine here. Just will require 3 additional hits. And now the third truck here is, I'd say, the easiest one to do, like, the proper 100% good strat. But it is the hardest one to recover from, because what we want to do is we want to hit these things into solid objects. Things that physically will never be destroyed if you crash into them. If you look around, there's not a lot of those. The road is very wide, there's not a lot of stuff, so it's very, very difficult to destroy, although I'd say both runners will be getting it. Cyther already getting it, and Liquid should be getting it now, and does, although that canyon arrow is not being very nice. We'll be going for a reverse strat, which is interesting, but not quite as quick and the sweep. So what mistakes can be made from this point to shake the run-up? It's kind of difficult to say. I mean, like, this game constantly happens. It's not like, you know, there are individual moments in this game. You have to drive between places. You can drive slowly. I mean, anything can happen. And a brief note on what happened on Cyther's screen there. Basically, the interiors of buildings are very difficult to map out because you have to make them, like, make sense according to what the building looks like on the outside. It's a lot easier just to warp someone far away and just say, this place you're in now, that's the interior of the building. And these are very, very far away, like, very far away on the map. So that straight line distance from Wigan, just... My apologies, and that straight line distance basically just, like, goes up super high and just immediately you escape Wigan. So if you kind of, like, want to get an example, if you've ever played the game Banjo-Kazooie, whenever you go into an interior, the game just does that, like, black screen, and then you suddenly are in an interior. You've actually just been teleported. Well, I'd say, maybe, Liz, the answer isn't go into your house. The answer is just teleport extremely far away. That's a very good way of getting away with any crime, which I don't condone. The Simpsons hit and run community does not condone escaping from the police. Which is why Cyther was a good citizen and ensured that he got busted. Now, moving on to incriminating caffeine. This is quite a difficult mission. When you're a new runner to the game, I assure you, you're gonna have PBs where you fail this mission. And it's gonna have, like, 7 minutes time save sometimes. That is just a fact of the game. The cola truck is very quick. The cola truck, when it hits something, will not slow down because it's extremely strong. And you gotta stay within range of it, whilst also sometimes falling back in order to manipulate the way it moves, in order to make sure it doesn't crash into the stairs where you're gonna do armored truck and the fire truck. Now, as mentioned earlier, this mission does have a potential 2-cycle in it. If I remember correctly, it's the 8th drop on this one that we have to keep an eye on for it dropping within the area you want it to drop in. So just keep an eye out. Also, I didn't mention this. Before the mission, because this is the only mission in the game in which the warping point is, like, incredibly far away from the actual mission start point, we pick up a lot of coins on the way. As you get very high up and you see the higher runners, they will pick up literally no coins on the way there. Maybe 1 or 2 areas of coins, and they will just pick every coin up in the actual mission itself. That is quick, but dangerous. We'll see how Liquid's 8th drop goes, as Cyther picks up the 11th and should be safe from getting busted. The 8th drop is fine, so Liquid should not be getting 2-cycled here. As Cyther picks up pin pals, and we will deduct the 12 seconds we previously added on for missing Mr. Plow Jacket.
in the Vital magazine's 300 horses of convenient power.
We'll see how Liquid's 11th drop is, because Cyther's was a little bit on the late side. Yeah, he gets a little bit more fortunate than Cyther, although I wouldn't say that's a race winning or losing condition. Now, Cyther's going to be trying to crash into the corner of the fountain. Basically, crashing is a lot quicker than braking, you know? Although I would say I would not say this advice extends to real life. Don't just explain to your insurance company, I'm sorry, some commentator in a Simpsons hit and run tournament said that if I wanted to stop the car, I should crash. They will not accept. They will not accept. Okay. Liquid getting the second escape as Cyther picks up car built for Vapo, not picking up the freebie. I find that if you approach it from a higher position, so slightly further to the left, you will typically get that freebie a little bit more consistent because you're higher up slightly, and that makes the hitbox a little bit more forgiving for you. Cyther not getting the super quick strat, and that baby van looks like it's got very, very, very wonky AI. It's going to be like turning within its own, like its turning circle is smaller than the actual length of the car. That is how wonky this AI is. As Liquid gets a better Hibbert carry to the vending machine, so he'll be able to get the mission trigger a little bit quicker, and he'll be hoping for this, and will he get it? He will, although that position is very bad. I don't know if he's going to be able to recover, and he will not. He will hope to get into position here. Although, again, this AI is so wonky. It is going onto its back wheels. You are not the Canyonero, baby man. Don't try to be. Just be yourself. Orc, yeah, I noticed that eventually. Although it looked originally like it was a bit silly. I'd say Liquid on balance is slightly better than Cyther so far as getting the 8th drop now is concerned. As Cyther picks up the courthouse box. Although I find it's a little bit quicker to pick that up after you escape from the second limo, because you lose less momentum. Cyther, I think he was trying to get that freebie, but didn't quite know where it was. Now Cyther is just going to do quick. I think now he's about 25-30 seconds ahead, currently. Cyther picking up that vending machine, one that Liquid picked up during level 2. We'll see. Ooh, I don't think he's going to get that freebie. He did not have enough momentum. Here we have a little bit of like a bit of free time because Wiggum just does a big loop and then he leaves. But the thing about the loop is that there are positions you can find on this road where he'll never escape from you because, you know, he's going on a loop. However, it's slightly risky because if Wiggum destroys a car, you get the hit and run for it. But I don't think you get the coins for it, which is, you know, pretty unequal exchange if you ask me. But if you get hit and run just as you enter the highway, because of the way the cars spawn and the way like the number of cars that can be physically active in the game at any one time behaves. By the way, this is just like something that was explained to me a while ago, so I might be getting this wrong. But yeah, based on those two facts, the game will crash pretty much all the time if you get the bust in that area. Basically what happens is the police destroy a car, they get like all the like shredded bits of metal from that car and like sprinkle it over you in order to like, you know, infect you with the evidence of who destroyed the car.
These are some top-notch theories.
Yeah, LP, well...
The reason is my mic's quiet, so...
Yeah, and also I was told you just went off. Yeah.
I just haven't tried as much because it's a lost cause because I could just start talking and be talked over no matter what, so... And it's not your fault, but...
It's just quite difficult because it's like they have a mic gain for you, but I don't have that, so your voice is very, very quiet in my ears.
Yeah. So sometimes you might not even know I'm talking.
Now, this is Never Trust a Snake. Basically, we have to pick up garbage because it's Snake's community service. And also on the subject of LP3 not even trying, you know, taken in the words of Homer Simpson, trying is the first step to failing. The lesson is never try.
Exactly, and you can never fail.
This mission is unique in the sense that it's the only timed mission on which you are given the entire time you will be given for the whole mission at the very start. In other missions, like let's say Petty Theft Homer, you will get new periods of time for every single objective. Although in that case, they just add time to the timer. And Cyther drops, that basically is going to equalize the times. And he will miss most of those coins. I don't think he's going to be able to get back up again before those coins despawn. Yeah, those coins are leaving him just as he gets there. Very bad luck for Cyther. That pretty much equalized the times here. And yeah, if the Swede is still watching... Oh, sorry, go on?
That route that Wi-Fi was doing was kind of weird.
It was indeed. But the earlier question from the user, the Sweet, that's kind of like an example of how many things can go wrong and just mess up the race for an individual. Like, it just happens like that, and it happens so often. Now we'll see if Liquid or Cyther is going to go for the LP3 strat and just, like, you know, not even bother to jump up on the fire truck because it's just
Alright, I do it now.
Oh, and Cyther bounces off. Good idea to drive closer and should be able to jump up on.
Now my strat of jumping on it doesn't look so bad.
You're going for a tough sell here, LP3.
Valid.
You're using the like, you know, the tribulations of Cyther to prove your point. I don't think you're on really good ground here. Let's see, and their coins I think are just about equal. If I remember, Cyther had 340 something.
So I hate coming out of that alley because like 95% of the time you'll just get T-boned.
Now the runners will both just be trying to get back. They will use one of the two shortcuts, I suspect. Well, I thought Cyther was going to go right there. So Cyther here is going to be utilizing another one of the many weird, like strange ways in which the game decides this is the nearest road, even though Cyther will currently, like if you look below Cyther's car, he is on a road. And yet, that's the nearest road for some reason. Don't ask me.
No Ganesh costume from Wi-Fi. Rest in peace.
Well, they do have an opportunity if they got armored truck.
That car was out for blood because he didn't get Ganesh costume.
I have a question for you. You know what'd be fun, really fun LP3?
I don't like where this is going already.
Destroying a really, really, like, strong car. Wouldn't that be really fun?
No.
But you know what'd make it more fun? Having to destroy it with a really weak car. That would just make it so fun. Speaking of, moving on to Quick Cash. We escape from Wiggum twice and destroy an extremely difficult car to destroy. This has no time limit as far as the actual destruction segment is concerned. Now, Cyther will just lead Wiggum up onto the shortcut. Wiggum will just decide this shortcut's fun. I think I'll just keep going. And Cyther will escape. Yeah. You know what they say, no matter where you live, there's always something you don't know about it. And I don't think Wiggum knew about that shortcut. And he was like, oh, this is really amazing. I never knew this about Springfield. And Cyther gets messed up by that truck, although should destroy that Quimby truck. Well, I think it's actually okay. No, yeah, it's not. I think at very least the truck is going to be trapped for long enough in order for him to get some wasp. I'm not entirely sure if it's in there or not. Liquid, does he get it? I don't think he does. Actually, they get pretty much identical positions here. I think Cyther's is 100% trapped. And Liquid's is just dead. I do not know what it's doing.
There we go.
Although it is trying to make its way out. We'll see. It's going to get out. It's out. Let's see how Cyther's is doing. I think it's still trapped in there. It is, and we will see if Cyther goes for Ganesh costume. Fingers crossed, everyone. And Vapo, very kindly in the chat, has informed me that it was in fact a trapped truck all along. Ganesh. No!
Wi-Fi just got out of his car and kicked for no reason.
I'd be infuriated too, not gonna lie. Liquid is in great danger here, and he needs to get back to his car. He's not gonna get back there in time. He's gonna fail. He's not gonna get back in time. What?
That
timer didn't exist anymore.
That was hacked. He just...
No. Okay, I'm calling like, you know, elite hack source stats here. That timer was gone. Okay, we all saw it with our eyes.
Yeah.
I do not know how to handle this. Okay, Cyther now going for the second escape from Wiggum. Extremely safe, so long as you don't get hit by any traffic on the way. We'll be trying to use his tail to hit that. Krusty Glass 43 coins is not enough to pick up. I'm trying to think right now. There's the gazebo box. There is I think he still got the Krusty Burger vending machine. Then there's 2 vending machines in 1 box. I think that's enough, as long as he picks up them all. Assuming the vending machine is still here. It's not. So his coins will be a little bit tight here.
Yikes.
I think he'll be fine. He should be able to get this. And Liquid gets the destruction. Although, he's lost a lot of time. There's no other way of putting it.
Let's get the sick curator Cyther.
He's lined up. He's got this. Absolutely perfect. Everyone, like, this isn't favoritism. I just don't want to see any cutscenes here. Fingers crossed for Cyther's on this cutscene skip. Fingers crossed, sincerely. There is no way of pause buffering this. He gets it. Basically, in the other 2 cutscene skips, unless you off-tab, in the case of Apu, you can pause buffer. Like, you can pause and you have the restart mission and cancel mission, but it's just, like, not filled in. So you can't do it because the mission's just like, wait, you've finished. Why would you want to cancel or restart the mission? So I'm kind of lost, actually, what I'm trying to say. But in the case of Apu, you can't pause buffer. Literally, you spam the pause button, and you get the pause, and you just hope that your reactions are good enough. And I didn't mention earlier, but the cutscene skips are frame-based. In Part 1, I believe Part 1 is the 1 frame, and then the other 2 are 2 frames. So, if you're on 150 frames per second, in the case of Part 1, you have a 150th of a second, as Liquid does not get curator strat and will have to destroy him in the tunnel. And in the case of Apu in Part 2, you get 1/75th of a second. If you decided to go for fewer frames, you would have more time in which to react to the cutscene. In the case of like 60 frames per second, you'd have a 60th and a 30th of a second, and so on for every other like number that exists. Although beyond 150 frames, there's no benefit you get other than harder cutscene skips. Dirt jump is ridiculous, so there's no point in going above 150 frames per second. And Cyther gets it without being busted. What's happened? Oh, just cannot destroy that vending machine. That is a resilient little thing, and Liquid gets the cutscene skip. Bjorn Cyther has more than just Part 2 cutscene skip in the difference. He would need to... I'd say in order to fall behind as a result of Part 2, he would need to... Also, Liquid, his coins are dire. He's going to have to do carb out for Rainbow Shots or a coin grind. Cyther would need to probably fail the backup for Duff Truck and miss cutscene skip. That's how much time there is between the 2 runners. Like, Cyther is in a commanding lead due to cutscene skip in Part 1, Liquid failing it, Cyther getting it, Slithy Sleuthing, in which Liquid failed, and in Armored Truck.
Damn automatic transmission.
Yo, this clown car is screwing Cyther up.
It is indeed, although it crashed, so Cyther should be able to move nice and smooth for the rest.
Whoa, got him. Off for Bart.
Look out!
Woo, nice.
And Liquid will be going for Carville for Homer stats. This is a second slower, but does enable you to pick up 2 freebies. So on balance, can help you. And to answer your question, Mystic Maniac, Cyther just picked up Bort, so it's all been equalized. Now Labco Caper. The most boring mission of the run. The only thing this mission had when you first played it was the degree of you couldn't really predict it. You're like, oh, which way is Frank gonna go? Ha ha ha, this is fun. But no, it's not. It's intensely dull, is the simple truth of the matter. And also, Vapo, I was thinking that too. I was going to comment, but I figured it's about the same distance away, so there wasn't that much difference between it. But yeah, Labco Caper just involves waiting, picking up 4, maybe 5 vending machines, depending on how many you've picked up so far in Bart 2. And just pondering life, I suppose, you know? What is my purpose? What am I doing in my life? What is it to live? What is it to love? These are the questions that come to my head when I play. What is love? What is life? Every now and then I fall apart. You know that stuff. Just the questions we all ask ourselves. Oh dear. Exactly, sweet. What is it to run Shar? What is it to run? What is it about Shar that keeps us coming back? These are the questions we have to ask ourselves. Who is the favorite of this category? The answer would be Liquid. However, Cyther is equally as good in my opinion. I think that if they both had the same amount of time to get a run, because Liquid does this full-time, whereas Cyther obviously doesn't. Liquid's the only full-time runner of this game. I'd say Cyther is equally skilled, just doesn't have the time to do as many runs to get the insane muscle memory that Liquid does. That's my personal opinion anyways. I'm sure plenty of people would have a different view of things.
I agree with that, to be honest.
Mm. And Cyther does not get the soft lock. What about Vapo? What about Vapo?
No problemo.
Now on to Duff for Me, Duff for You. In my opinion, the hardest strat to get good in the game. The backups are relatively forgiving. But there's a lamppost as soon as you trigger the Duff truck, that if you hit it, you literally just can't get the Duff truck anymore because the Glowdex Supervillain car is so weak that when it hits one of those lampposts, you just kill your speed. Cyther should be getting the stuff truck. Ooh, this is not quite as nice as it could be, and he will not get it. We'll be going for one of the backups here. We'll see if he goes for the sideways or the ram into the back strat. Going for the ram into the back, and we'll get it. 2, 3, 4, 5, and no, that was 6. Never mind. Thank you very much for the 100 bits, Dan. Yeah, this is a great game to play as a kid, and it's not going to happen. A sequel isn't going to happen. Simpsons Tapped Out is too. Simpsons Tapped Out is too profitable for EA, so there's no incentive for them to make any more Simpsons games when all they ever did was make parodies. This is a GTA clone. The Simpsons game was just full of clones of Medal of Honor or something like that, and all other types. So there's no real, no real sequel is gonna come. Cyther was practicing his fundamental jackass a good few times before the race, and was getting it pretty consistent, although I found that when he didn't get this hit as he wanted, he was a lot less consistent at getting the actual strat. We'll see if he can save this, because he's a little bit further behind than he'd like to be, and he will save it. Although slightly slower, he'd have ideally wanted more damage done by this point. As Liquid gets the Duff Truck strat, although it's slightly tenuous, I don't think he's going to get it. He's going to pick up 3 drops though. When he doesn't get those drops, he's going to have to hope they despawn. He's either going to have to hope they despawn or commit to going back. He's being put in a very, very difficult conundrum. What's he going to do? Okay, they both despawned. They have both despawned, and he's missed the strat. He's just going to have to hope for a donut truck backup, except with the Duff Truck. And he's not going to get it. I think he should be picking up that drop. Although he's probably just going to turn around, yeah. I didn't consider that. Now, Cyther onto WebEx Super Car. Also, LV3, I'll try to put pauses in my speech so that you can get in there, just because I do understand it's probably difficult.
I'm gonna get in there, alright. That got weird, alright.
Now, Liquid is on... Liquid has... I'm not really sure about his coins right now, to be honest. I think they look a bit low for what he's want to be at this stage. Getting a freebie, though, very nicely. 1 second. Well, what's happening outside this screen? What's happening outside this screen? Is he gonna miss the... He's gonna miss the 20-second drop! Oh my god! Oh my god! He missed the 20-second drop! He's not gonna get it! He's not gonna finish the mission! He's missed the drop! He's missed it! Ah! And he picks it up.
You know... it's kind of early. I kind of believed you for a second, and I was like, what the heck are you talking about?
Okay, I was earlier speaking about how Never Trust Snakes, the only mission that just gives you all the time in 1 bit, whereas Petty Theft Homer gives you, and Cyther manages the boat reset very, very successfully, whereas
so dope.
What's the other thing I was thinking? Oh yeah, whereas Petty Theft Homer just gives you more time on top of what you had left for each objective. In Set to Kill, you just have a set amount of time for each objective that will never change, basically. You get 50 seconds from the very last moment that you that you pick up the 25th drop, regardless of which one it actually is. 25th sequential drop rather than 25th position, if you get me. Yeah, you are supposed to pick it. Mystic Maniac, I'm intentionally being overly dramatic because it's not funny just to go, you know, he missed the drop in a serious way. It's funnier just to be overly dramatic and stupid about it. Now, Cyther will be hoping to have 500 coins by the end of this, or not 500 coins, I'd say in the realm of 420, 430.
There's one thing he wants to do in this race. He wants to get to the beach before the sedan. If he does, the sedan will more than likely go down get to the boardwalk, because the sedan will go down the beach and get one of the boxes for him.
It's pretty much 100% consistent, although the first ever time I tried this route, the sedan didn't do that for me. So I got very, very paranoid about my personal luck in this game. Cyther,
he's also going to want to drive farther up this boat to hit a checkpoint. If he just did the boat reset, he'd have to drive backwards and hit a checkpoint.
He normally does that boat reset, though. Now, cutscene skip 3. We'll Cyther get 3 for 3. Let's see. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, 7 redundant pauses, and gets the cutscene skip. Cyther now in a very commanding position. Sorry, go on?
If it's not a 1 pause, it doesn't count.
Okay, let's see what Cyther goes for. Or Liquid, I should say, later on. Let's see if he gets that boat reset. He will indeed. Very, very nice. Gonna pick up 60 extra coins. Or 62. If anyone wants a little fun fact, I've been playing this game for about 14 years on and off. 3 years very actively. And it's only of, I think it was August that I realized that Rigor Motors was a pun on Rigor Mortis. I was genuinely in a race with Eris, who's a fellow runner.
Hit you?
Yeah.
Oh!
I literally just said, wait 1 second.
Hold up one gosh darn minute. That's a pun.
It's very... It was a very strange moment. Like, if you remember the Simpsons movie when Homer goes through his epiphany, internally it was something like that. And now Liquid will be hoping for the beach coins from the Sudan equally.
I was today years old when I learned that.
Yeah, rigor. If anyone who doesn't know, rigor mortis is the thing where when something dies, it gets really stiff. It's the way in which the muscles. The long black probes isn't bad. I mean,
It's also a good pun. We've yet to figure out what the pun is, but it was a pun.
Coming through.
Yo, Wi-Fi missed the cutscene shit. It might be over.
but in the friend. Oh, heck, he missed. I almost said a much stronger word than heck. He missed.
I heard that's not a swear.
I was gonna say Heckington, to be honest. What were you thinking I was gonna say? But yeah, the evil plan. But in the French version, the long black prose mission is called Incognito, which is a bit more appropriate because the notion is that Homer is trying to be incognito and learn of the aliens' plan by following the Black Marini.
I love how like you're supposed to follow some of these. Like the actual mission is you're supposed to follow the car without being seen, but you can just run right into the back of it and they won't notice you. Like I think the black van, it says follow without being seen.
Plan? I'm bored of this level.
I'm glad you're...
It's crashing time.
Collision pending. Hey, watch it, Buster. Oh dear.
Watch it.
Observe. Gravity in action. No, not my pants over here.
I remember when I first heard that line, the "Behold gravity in action, no, not my pants over here." I thought he said brevity, which is the concept of something being short. And I was thinking to myself, that's a very deep but quite strange joke.
That's a way better joke, to be fair.
There's a good few strange lines. Joshua, I don't think you need to sync the timers there. The difference between the two runners is such that like this 3-second discrepancy is not like ruining our perception of who's in the lead. What was I gonna say? Oh yeah, there's a few lines in this game which are very difficult to tell. Like when Lisa say, "I need to work on my cardio," I used to always think it was I need to work on my car deal. Like, what's happening here? Like is Lisa in this like association with Ford or something?
Yeah, randomly running down the road. Gotta see if I can close the deal on this Hyundai.
I need to... Sweet. Let's do this thing.
Because the only that quote only happens when you're running. So. And
Well,
yes, you couldn't work out rigor mortis. That's some smack talk right there.
Finding blood is easy. I'd make a great vampire. But let's see. On the subject of the waste, currently the distance between Liquid and Cyther is such that I think if Cyther blows up the waste in any of these missions, but has enough time to go back, or in the case of Autopsy 1, just has to restart and just take a 15-second penalty. As long as it doesn't have to like reset Autopsy 2 or 3, I'd say he's still ahead, even if he does blow up the waste. It'll just be a little bit closer. And yeah, it is Halloween, if anyone's wondering. If you read the if your loads are a little bit longer, you can see like on the newspaper kind of what would you call that? Like transition thingy?
Yeah.
There's a date on all the newspapers. Local man ruins food eating contest. Disqualified for vomiting. Cyther manages girder jump very successfully. We'll be going for the alt tab in order to be able to run through this previously unknown to be run through area.
Piece of cake.
the prize for winning this tournament is the pure, imponderable joy of knowing the best. We went through some very different ideas. Luna, the answer is Liquid missed both Bart cutscene skips. Cyther's missed nothing. Also, just while we're here, because these are sort of like very dull missions, like essentially Pocket Protector is Alien Autopsy Part 0.5. Every single like mission is the same from now on, except for one that was going to do during There's Something About Monty. So I'm going to take this moment to coyly just advertise who's commentating. If you want to stop by either of those channels, LP3 doesn't stream anymore, so don't bother.
Not really.
Absolutely shameless. I have no shame.
I'm too busy getting drunk every night. That's also a lie. Don't take me serious.
And Cyther, what? Wait, what? Oh no, sorry, Liquid. I was confused because I was thinking it's been Liquid doing those weird zoom ins, but it was Liquid. I'd say all in all, I don't think either runner has had worse luck than the other. I think that the Slithery Sleuthing drops were basically the exact same. Cyther just managed to account for the position better in order not to fail the mission. Both of them had a very difficult armored truck in which they had I don't know what the vehicle was for Liquid, but I know the Cyther had a Quimby truck, which is one of the two vehicles that can destroy it. So, and yeah, Cyther's on a very good pace here. He could get I'm not entirely sure. I always miscalculate what the times are for this, but Cyther could potentially get a high 130 maybe. I'd ask Vapo to confirm for me. Or Orc. Any high level runner kind of knows what the autopsy times are.
Then I'll take over from here. High level runner, I'm your guy.
High level. What's your PB now? 143?
I just meant I get high, but you can.
Oh god. Please no, we can't be endorsing this. Okay. Vapo's informing, yeah. I thought so myself. I thought it looked like a 131 30 or something, which is pretty much dead on his PV. I'd say Liquid's on I'd say a 133 pace or so right now, so Cyther has a very significant buffer here. Maybe even 134.
This town is going to pay for this.
If there's one thing I regret in this commentary on Liquid blows up the ways, is I sort of intended as a bit of fun for myself to try to mispronounce both runners' usernames in as many different ways as I could. During the other Liquid race I commentated, I referred to him as LiquidWiFi, LiquidWaifu, I called him, what was it, Solid LAN or something like that. It was brilliant. So now Zither is going to be moving into the...
I was just about to say that. That was the exact way I was about to pronounce it.
Cyther is going on to the final mission of the game.
So now we got Slithery Sleuthing time on the last one.
Oh, Joshua, you're right. Aside from the individual moments in which everything went wrong, although obviously anyone could say it was great up until the moment everything went wrong. But yeah, he's had a solid enough run as far as everything's concerned, other than some small difficulties as he picks up hit and run. His name isn't LiquidWiFu, it's clearly gaseous Ethernet cable. Clearly.
I'm done with you. I can't do this anymore.
I'll be assured, I've been done with myself for a very long time. Liquid took the bust and is going for the tractor beam. Does not get human cup buck. Shaking my head. Cyther will be finishing right.
Wait.
Everyone, if Cyther doesn't pick up Human Cookbook, just get ready to, like, as a collective, start shaking our heads. Because we cannot be tolerating this lack of commitment to picking up level cards. That is such a good line. Wait, what? What is Liquid doing? He's picking up level cards! I think he's accepted defeat. He's picking up the Krusty Doll. Just getting the longest potential animation to be getting back into Little Bandit as Cyther moves towards the end of the game. I'd say Liquid just knows the game's up. Cyther, although Cyther has had extremely bad luck. He was on a, I think it's like a low 130 run, and somehow at the bottom of the ladder he launched, and it caused him to fly into the like barriers made by the fire truck, and he lost the waist. It was like genuinely, it was heckin' heartbreaking to watch. Like a very large part of me died that day.
Cyther!
Hello!
Hello!
I got a PB!
Yay.
A 2.9 second PB! Woo!
Oh, chicks love it when you do this. So far,
You did it, man.
Oh, Liquid, what's he doing?
like out of my way.
He started picking up level cards. Although to be fair, like you'd won the race for a while.
I mean, it's never over until it's over.
Oh yeah, I know, but as far as in Liquid's head, you'd won the race, so he'd already just like said, "I'm going into that race against Vapo." But now you're the winners bracket winner, the winner of the winners, and you're going into the final, and you have one defeat.
I'm apparently a winner. I don't know how.
Oh yeah, actually, I forgot to mark you as the winner. Should be. Okay, there we go. Wait, what? Wait, has he? What's he doing here?
I respect it, whatever it is. I'm still unaware of what it is. But...
Okay, we have the marker. Wait, what is he doing here? I just hope it's funny. Is he just pausing every second for no good reason? Seriously, Liquid, we've got things to do today, please.
Yeah, come on. I'd like to go back to bed.
I mean...
Oh, that's what he was doing.
Oh.
Well done, well done. I gotta hand it, but that was worth it. It's kind of like Mango's insistence on using the RC car during your race either. It was worth it. I'm really having to like cut off the third word whenever I say "what the" because this is ridiculous.
This looks.
This is incredible.
Guys, this is the first cheap percent run from Liquid.
I love it.
That's valid.
He's gonna overshoot.
Oh, dude, that's what I wanted. That's what I wanted. I was so hoping he was gonna honk right into it.
Is he gonna like try to duplicate the car now or something? This is incredible. Although I'm afraid we have to disqualify for obvious reasons. This is amazing.
Clearly.
Okay, I'm desperately trying to get out a question for you, Cyther.
Just
okay. No, it's just I'm too distracted. This is incredible. What
If
I'm
you're
seeing
too
is just
distracted,
blowing my mind.
Yo, open free. If you want a question, it's your time to shine.
What's your favorite type of cheese, bud?
Brie. I love Brie.
Brie? That's not bad. Acceptable answer.
Can I? Okay, to do with my run, Armor 1 was average. Art 1 was average.
Yeah.
Lisa was a 1037. That's pretty good.
Oh yeah, your lease was good.
My Marge was air. Oh, my poo was awful. My Bart was...
Hey.
1236. not bad.
We had to say Dickety
Like,
because the Kaiser had
so
stolen
good.
The sedans in Lisa was probably the best one I've ever seen.
It was quite good. Yeah.
You mean Hellfish?
Yeah, the one with the 3 sedans. I forget what the mission's called.
Oh right. I didn't get a gold from that, so wasn't quite my best, I guess.
What about your sleuthing? You had a very difficult drop for the 3rd. Like, what was your thought on that?
I don't know how I got that. I got lucky. I was just off with my aim, and I barely grasped the pixels.
Yeah, Liquid basically had the exact same drop, except he had that thing where you slightly miss it, and then in trying to turn around, it obviously makes it very difficult because Snake's still trying to get away from you. And he got the fail. I think that was the moment where I was thinking, yeah, I think Cyther might have this.
I was 58 seconds ahead after Return of Nearly Dead, and then by the time Part 2 came around, I was 13 seconds behind at the end.
I think Liquid just skipped the trigger for the chase at the end. He's going to fail because he hasn't caused the trigger.
Oh yeah! Oh
yeah! This is fantastic. But what about your armored truck? Like that was pretty insane. Like Quimby chucks off in like the final nail in the coffin of any good armored truck.
The trigger's rare. Liquid. Oh, he got the trigger.
He did indeed. Yeah.
Yeah, I was. I love this commentary.
It's gone beyond like it's a post satire.
You schmuck!
Oh my god! Well done, Liquid. I'm gonna say you finished. Okay. Liquid, come in here when you can.
He went over the UFO. Okay.
Yeah, but he also like destroyed the waste. Okay, I'm just gonna see. I'm gonna even tag him.
He may want to join. He may not. Depends. Who knows?
So here's my question: when did that boat strat get figured out to get the 2 boxes?
Oh, a week or 2 ago.
That blew my mind.
Like you hit the strut, and if you're going fast enough, you go whee, and then you hit a checkpoint where if you're platforming on the boat, if you fall off the boat, that's the trigger to force reset.
Yeah.
So if you just hit that and then you fall back down, you hit it, so it's good.
Yeah, I didn't know about that.
Yeah, I'm pretty pleased I got that twice. Like, I had to slow down a little bit for the Malibu because I got hit by some random collisions, so I had to do a fast acceleration and then I got it. Only just though, so that's good.
It doesn't seem like it's super easy either, so.
No, you can't take the usual racing line. You have to get a good exit and then just boom in there. Hi, Liquid!
Oh, Jesus, hello.
Oh, sorry.
Ow. That was over eager. So how are you doing gaseous Ethernet cable?
That was something.
Yeah, I mean, like, the thing was, you did get a very unlucky slippery sleuthing drop, but Cyther was basically the exact same. I'd say just the alignments were slightly different.
I heard that you failed cutscene skip twice, I think. Did you?
Both parts.
That is correct.
And then you failed slippery sleuthing. Ouch.
That is correct.
Was it the last drop?
I got a pretty bad drop at the end.
You should have seen my drop. My drop was terrible, but I literally grasped the pixels of it.
Yeah, I tried to turn around. I was like a pixel or 2 away, and it just failed the mission.
Well, to be fair, during Armored Truck, how the hell did you manage to like not fail the mission for being out of the car for 10 seconds? The timer was gone.
Have an extra second at the end. Every has that.
Okay, yeah. I was just losing my. I'm not gonna use the next word.
I don't know why it takes an extra second, but
it's pretty dumb.
It's the game. Why not? It's radical. Blame radical.
Radical.
LP3's barely awake.
Yeah.
Top-notch commentary.
I heard that me and Cyther had like the same armored truck, except he managed to save his.
Yeah, basically the exact same.
I had a giant. I almost swore. I had a giant, big that was telling me to vote for a specific politician. So that was
the exact same thing.
Good old Quimby. Thanks, buddy.
I had the same problem. Like I really like the Quimby really got in my face, but then I was like, no, I won't vote Quimby. And then I got the strap.
Well, all I'm saying is he'd vote for you, you know. But does anyone have anything to say at the end? Just like
Vapo versus Liquid Part 2.
Yeah, it's gonna happen.
Vapo's revenge.
Vapo.
It's just like the autopsies. This will go on until like part 69 or something.
I think my autopsy part 3 was pretty good, to be honest.
Yeah, I wonder if you got the best seg off of it. Yeah, but no, good race, dude. The game treated us badly. 2.9 seconds.
I don't know. I don't know how your freebies were, but I got like 2 freebies out of like the 10 you get in the entire run. It's so stupid.
I got like half of them. I had to go to Flanders.
I didn't get Apu.
Ouch.
And then I failed the road jump, which sucked.
You both struggled at the one at the police station on the staircase.
What? Can't hear LP3.
You both didn't get police station wasp.
Hey man.
Oh yeah, I almost said the LP3 wasp. The police station.
You're damn right.
The police station wasp was pretty bad. So.
Yeah, I had a massive ambulance parked there. I should give him a note saying you should get out of the way of people's runs while you're saving lives.
Yeah. Do you have any final questions?
Sorry?
I orked the race.
Excellent. I have nothing further to say except GG.
LP3? Anything to say?
Wi-Fi, how does it feel to lose, you big loser?
Hey.
Wow. Wow.
Okay, so
I'm going to lose to Vapor now.
Okay then, from me, from Ulpfrit Cinema, from Cythertime, and from LiquidWiFi. Thanks very much for watching. Hope you enjoyed. And thank you very much to Sadie for doing the organizing for all this. And we'll be back next week with Vapo versus Liquid. Electric Boogaloo, number 2. And we are finished. Cool, everyone just leaves.